What it do, and welcome back to the Flagrant 3 podcast. Today's episode in partnership with Harman Coaching Systems. Train like an athlete, perform like a warrior. It's your boy Snaz back at it with, of course, to my right, my co-host, Mr. Feeling Too Good. What are you doing?
What are you saying, my guy? How we been? It's been a while. We've had a nice little break, haven't we?
We've had a break. It's been lovely.
It's been lovely. A little bit of relaxation. And shout out Harman Coaching, best in the game. Mm-hmm. If you're in Essex and you don't know, you need to know. Get familiar.
Yeah, straight up. So we're going to run straight into it. As you guys know from the last podcast, we dropped a little Easter egg in there about a competition we got coming up. It's between myself, Mystic Mike, Mr. Feeling Too Good, and a couple of special guests as well. We're running a little bit behind schedule with this because was it commitment issues? We'll put it down to.
Yeah, we'll put it down to commitment issues and 2K not being out. Now it's out. Yeah.
Now it's out. We all good. So today we're going to be talking about the No Goats draft and performing our draft lottery. And yeah, so I'm going to get you guys started with just a couple of rules with this the No Goats draft. This is it's just a fantasy draft that we're going to do, where we build teams off of this draft, and we're going to chuck them in a 2K simulator and have ourselves a little tournament.
Let them duke it out.
We're going to duke it out
See
big
who's
time.
the best GM in the game.
That's it. So, number one rule for us on this draft was no one pre-96 draft.
Just to stick with our era.
Yeah, just purely because we grew up with these players and, there's some legendary names coming out. Like, my personal list is insane. Yeah. Like, if I get number one pick, I'm winning this. This is an easy dub for me. But also, we've got a few names that are considered the greatest in certain categories, whether it's an all-time scorer, defensive player, three-point shooter, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we're going to get straight into it. The first GOAT. So obviously, Michael Jordan, Shaq, Kareem, Magic, all of those guys are outed anyway because it's pre-96. It's pre-96. If these guys were drafted pre-96, they ain't in.
Yeah.
Another name from the 96 draft that is going, of course, is Kobe Bean.
Kobe Bean.
He's outie. He's outie because that's an easy dub, as we know.
Yeah. Kobe Bean, the GOAT.
Yeah, exactly. And three more GOATed players we have. Of course, the King. LeBron. He's out.
Can't pick him.
Can't have him.
Can't have him.
You might want him.
You ain't getting him.
Can't fucking have him. And the next two, I kind of wanted to keep him in, but at the same time, you can't because it's just not fair.
No.
Steph the Chef Curry.
Yeah, he can't be.
He's goated, man. Yeah. The best shooter of all time is not in this draft.
If you're classed as the best of anything, you can't be in this competition we're running because you are goated in that category, and you're out. Yeah,
and the last name that is goated and therefore not on the draft block is KD.
KD, greatest scorer of all time.
Yep,
some would say. Not me personally, but some would
assassin, say. Mate. Big old feet.
That extra long toe. That extra long toe that didn't get him that chip.
Look, you didn't make the finals. You don't make the draft, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But no, that's those are our five big bugaboos.
And we've racked our brains to figure out if anybody. Allen Iverson was mentioned, but I just don't think personally he's got the credentials to be considered a GOAT. Personally, to me, he is like he's the reason I got into basketball. He's that he changed the game, but he's not.
We quickly veered into like personal GOATs rather than
actual GOATs.
So, I mean, Russ's name was brought up, Mr. Triple Double, first one to do it since Oakley. Yeah, you know what I mean. And when we started spiraling down that, we were looking at the names that were coming up, like James Harden, Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan. Yeah. We would have had a lot of good names.
Tim Duncan could arguably be on there, but we want to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
We've got 4 that I think across the board most people would consider GOATs post 96.
Yeah.
We'll throw a little poll up on the socials and see if you agree, but I think we're solid with them 4.
Yeah, and I think they're fair.
It doesn't take masses away from the draft either. There's still a lot of options, as you said. People that we spoke about: Iverson, Tim Duncan. KG's pre 96, wasn't he? So he can't be picked.
KG's out.
Yeah, KG's pre 96. Ray Allen, another 96 boy.
Jason Kidd.
No, he's pre
96. Jason Kidd's out.
You can't pick Jason Kidd then. There's still many people. Nowitzki, you said.
Yeah, you got.
There's still many people to pick from.
The thing is, and we were like going through this list and looking at the draft classes from 96 onwards. And let me tell you, there are some trash can draft classes in this.
Yeah,
I remember just being on the phone to Mike, and he was going, we don't need to worry about this.
Yeah, skip this draft.
Skip this draft. But no, them's the rules, and it's the tournament's going to be a best of 3, so it's not going to be like a one and done. You got shit on by the computer system and all of that stuff. Yeah. I don't want to hear none of that.
Best of 3.
That's it.
And we're going to run it on 2K22. Obviously, came out Friday. Next gen console. Are we we simulate the games? Do we watch them, or does it skip to the results with the stats?
I think you can. There is an option to watch them. There is an option.
So maybe we'll watch a few games, get some footage of that, throw it up on the socials.
Yeah, if there's like clutch games, I don't really want to watch an animated blowout. But I'm looking forward to it.
I used to do that back in the day. Like 2K5 and that. Was Melo on the cover? Was Melo on the cover of 2K5?
I thought was
NBA Live.
He was NBA Live 04 or 05, I think.
Yeah. I used to simulate dunk contests and watch them. That shit was banging, mate.
And they were insane dunks.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it went off of like the player's dunk rating. So like Shaq was doing backflips and shit in these dunk contests. It was just ridiculous. Yeah. But no, that game's goated, man.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the first NBA games I played.
Yeah, straight up. But yeah, that's our no-goes draft.
We're going to be running a competition alongside with obviously the 2K release. You guys are going to have the opportunity, once the draft is complete and our teams have been entered out to the world via our socials, Instagram, TikTok,
Time Bomb,
whatever Adam the editor is cracking on
Twitter
with these weeks. But we're going to throw them out there. You guys predict who's catching the dub.
Who's going to win the tournament?
Who's winning the No Goats tournament 2021? And then
we're going to pick an MVP as well.
Yes. So basically, what we've been thinking is whatever player has like the most insane game out of these simulated games.
A solo game?
A solo game. It could be a solo game. It's like, say for example, Giannis drops 60. And everyone else is only dropping like 20 points a game.
Yeah.
You got to give
he
it
has
to
a 60
Giannis,
piece
you know what I mean?
in a game 7.
Yeah.
Or game 3.
Game
3.
Game 3.
Game 3 down to the wire.
Down to the wire. I'm sweating just thinking about this. But yeah, the MVP winner, whoever predicts that, you'll get a little summon as well. So we're gonna scroll right over to Brett. He's got the fortune wheelie up.
The wheel of fortune for the lottery. So this is how we're going to do our draft order. So we've got Snaz up on there, Mystic Mike, myself. We've got our editor-in-chief, Mr. Cloughton on the clock. And we've got our new sponsor. Jack Harmon up. He's jumping in for the draft.
Ramen Harmon.
The Ramen Harmon. And we are going to have a guest spot. For a random, anyone can jump into it. I mean, we've got people that will fill the gap if nobody fancies taking on the team. But we ready to roll the wheel?
Yes.
Let's click it. Let's see who's getting the number 1 pick. Let's go. Oh, well, whoever fills the guest spot is getting the number 1 pick.
Hey, get number out, random guest. Get out.
The guest, he's got the number 1 pick. All right, let's go number 2s. Let's see who we got. Who are we getting? Jackie B!
The fucking
Harmon
number two.
coaching system's getting the number 2 pick in the draft. Next up. Come on now. I need this number 3. The big boy himself, Mystic Mike, getting number 3. He couldn't even be bothered to show up. We might have to dash him out of that one. My guy's lost somewhere in Greenwich. Let's go. Number 4 pick. What we got? Editor. Adam, you got the number 4 pick, bro.
Oh, man.
Gucci, me and you, bro. How are we the only ones here with the last 2 on the fucking clock? Who's getting it? Number 5, me. Me. Let's go. And that's that.
Well, dang.
So we've got whoever fills the guest spot is picking first. That is a dope pick. Well, who would you go with?
I would personally go with Timmy D.
You'd go Tim Duncan.
If
That's
he was
a
my
great
number
shout,
one.
man. That's a great shout. I've got a few that I'd go with.
That's the thing. This first round, there ain't going to be one bad pick.
Nah, of course there's not.
Even
there's
though
not.
I've got the 6th pick, it's like, at least I'm picking this round. Like, you know, at least I'm getting a pick. So I really ain't stressed.
Nah, of course
Top
not.
6 out of 120 odd players
that
we could potentially pick from. Like,
I mean, if I was to have the number 1 pick, I know it sounds a bit of a sellout, but I'm probably going to someone like Luca. Is that a bit sellout-y, do you think?
It's more of a risk than anything. Like, I don't know.
How so, bro?
Because you know, some of these names on the list, like Timmy D, Allen Iverson, Ray Allen.
Yeah, they're established players.
But you know what their potential was because they played it.
Yeah.
So whereas Luka, you don't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're playing a simulation, aren't we? So we're playing.
I mean, he's. But
it's like, say for example, you pick Derrick Rose number 1. You're picking his best season. Say you pick Allen Iverson number 1. You're picking his best season, 2001 season. You know, so.
I mean, if
that's what I'm saying, like, you've got 3 seasons. You can either let Luca's like if you pick Luca number 1, you can let him play on his rating this year, or go back for his last 3 years and pick a season.
I'm pretty sure he's in the 90s.
I think he's 92. I think he's 92.
So that ain't a bad pick at all. Like, it's really not a bad pick. But it's just it'll be the first name out of the newer players to be picked. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like, out of the last 3 years. Yeah, you're picking Luka over Zion.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think to see Tatum. Or
I think you'll see Tatum, but I mean, when you're putting up Tatum against the other small forwards of past, like, you know,
and that's the thing, like
who you picking, Tatum or Paul Pierce? Like,
I hate to say it, but
you are picking Paul Pierce, aren't you? Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I've got some stellar names on like every position here, so I'm not sweating.
Nah,
and it's going to be an 8-round draft.
You got any tactics there you want to share?
Or
you keeping your weapons to yourself? All right, bro. I mean, I don't know if you've got some
sort of... This ain't a game. This is war, gentlemen. The lottery is done now. The niceness is over with.
Oh,
and I want Mike in the first round. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you two got some beef you need to settle.
Let me tell you. That guy's getting swept. A 2-game sweep.
2-game sweep. I like that a lot. Well, basically... I've got the number 5 pick, and I think Luke will probably be available.
Oh, he will be. Some of the names that are going to go first is ridiculous.
Do you feel you have to take into account how well a player will play with somebody else? Say, for example, a Luka, or like a Steve Nash or someone, and Allen Iverson together. Do you think?
I mean, if we were going like figuratively, if we weren't doing the simulation, you'd just be stacking names and you'd just say, well, he's got the best names out of all of us. Yeah. He wins. Yeah. Whereas we're putting it in a simulation where it should have to flow together. It should need that sort of
chemistry, if you will.
So I think it is going to be vital. Like, you wouldn't want like all ISO players on the same team. You wouldn't want like
a Brooklyn
like
Nets.
Melo, Iverson,
Kyrie,
all of these guys.
Not KD,
but you wouldn't want that because it just would not work.
It didn't work in Denver.
No, exactly. Thanks for bringing that up.
So yeah, that's the lottery. We're going to do the draft either. We're either going to do it live, which I think can be a bit long-winded, so we're probably going to be doing it off air. Get some clips, get them out on the social, and then on the next episode we can discuss it.
I think just getting everyone here all together at the same time, with obviously COVID still being a thing, it's going to be too much of an aggro.
Yeah.
And people have shit to do.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's it.
You know, we're all human.
So yeah, we'll probably do it off air. Maybe we'll do it on a Zoom call so we can get some footage. Get the footage out there. That'd be cool.
Yeah. You'll definitely see the first round. I guarantee you.
First. Yeah, because the first round will be fun.
Yeah.
Rotating, so you're picking 6th, so you'll get first pick in the second round.
Yep.
And it'll just
snake format.
It'll just it'll snake down 8 rounds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going 8 men deep, and then we're going at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we're going. There'll be some super teams. There'll be some super teams. I'll tell you.
I was seriously considering just going to like Decathlon and buying like a little fucking trophy.
We should, man, and we should run it every year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It feels in off-season blanks, so it'd be cool.
Yeah,
it'd be cool.
It's going to be fun. It is going to be really fun.
Right, so we've done the lottery. We're going to do the draft this week. We're going to get the copy of 2K. We're going to run the simulations, and we will pick a winner with a trophy.
Yeah.
And then we're going to run a competition alongside, as we said earlier, the winner of that competition on the social. So whoever team you back, you get it right, you pick their MVP. You'll get the copy of the 2K22, brand new.
Signed.
Dough.
Signed by us three.
Signed by the big boys. Mm-hmm. With a little crown atop the winner's signature. And
yes,
and yeah, that is the No Goats draft.
No Goats.
So moving on to some NBA discussion. Mm-hmm. We just had the Hall of Fame.
We did indeed.
You want to discuss that?
So, what was it? 5 names, 5 big names.
Yeah, well, from a players. So we got Paul Pierce, Chris Webber, Chris Bosh, Ben Wallace, and Tony Kukoc.
Let's start with Tony. Because I think like Tony's. It feels like kind of a handout to Tony because they released The Last Dance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Would he have got this?
He definitely deserves to be there. I mean...
Oh, absolutely. 3 rings and... part of the best team ever to play the game.
Well, so. Yeah, supposedly. He definitely deserves to be there. I think he's, like you say, The Last Dance obviously brought a lot of attention to that squad. And... you know, maybe shone the light on the fact that he should have been there earlier. Which is why he's been inducted now, maybe. Yeah, great player. Absolute. Probably one of the clutchest shooters.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it was the game where Scotty sat out.
Yeah.
He nailed the game winner.
All through his career and for his country in the Olympics, you know.
He's always been a closer, which you got to love. Yeah. You got to love. It's a different breed of player when you can come out and just win a game.
Yeah.
My 2 best players ain't there. That's cool.
Don't worry about it.
Sit back and watch me work like this. And you got to appreciate that. And it is just kind of annoying and kind of sad that we've had to wait this long for him to get in.
Yeah.
And you kind of asked, it just taints it because you ask the
non-Americans,
question.
I mean, that's just how it goes, isn't it? You know, politics.
You ask the question.
Politics as usual.
If that doc wasn't released, would he ever have got in?
I mean, I've had people come up to me and speak to me about it and said it's one of the best things they've ever seen. And they're not even basketball fans.
Yeah,
like, that's how good it is. It is an amazing documentary, and it makes you look forward to future documentaries that get produced in the same way. I mean, rest his soul. If a Kobe Bryant one come out, imagine that.
Kobe series or a Kobe Shaq series, for example, with their 3-peat.
With that dynasty, yeah.
Oh, mate. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. Like, as soon as episode 10 was done, I was like, what's next?
Yeah.
Who's next?
That is what you look for, yeah. And stuff will come. But yeah, Tony Kukoc should have been in there sooner. But he's in there now, and that's all that matters. Ben Wallace.
My guy. Ben Wallace.
Big Ben.
What an animal. So deserving. So
he's
so
very
deserving.
very well deserving. I mean, this is if you want to explain to a young player coming up, it's just, don't be the best. Be the best at your role. Mm-hmm. And people like Ben Wallace were exactly that.
Dennis Rodman as
Dennis
well.
Rodman were exactly that.
Yeah.
You know, they're the best in what they do.
Yeah.
And if you are that, you're gonna have a good career.
Mm. And
his numbers don't look good.
No,
but he's an NBA champion on a great team, and he was an absolute force to be reckoned with.
Undersized at the centre.
Yeah,
but
he's 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, but he still beasted it. And
in the generation where centres were Shaqs.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
Centres were big guys, and this was coming into the end. I think a couple of years afterwards, the end of like the beat the shit out of each other era ended, and you know Ben lapped that up. Lapped that up. But I mean, can't really say much more. Like defensive player of the year, I think it was 3 times he won it.
Yes, I think
won it 3 times.
3 times.
Got his jersey retired in Detroit.
Has he?
Yeah. Number 3's retired.
That's what I'm saying. You know, he's an animal.
Yeah. Tank.
They would have gone back to back, I think, but the Spurs took them out the second year, didn't they? So they beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
And then the next year they went to the finals and the Spurs beat them. So they beat the Lakers in 2004.
Yes, because this is when Melo said if he was drafted,
they would have
gone back to back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, and then that was it for
the timelines messed up.
Detroit.
Yeah, basically.
Detroit just...
They crumbled. LeBron took them out, didn't they? In the following 06, I think. LeBron took them out.
06,
That's where in Game 6 he scored 29 of their last 30 points to close them off.
Tanked them. Beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, Detroit and Ben Wallace go hand in hand.
Yeah, there's no... Yeah, if you think about the mid-2000s Detroit team, the first thing that comes to your mind is Ben Wallace.
Yeah, you think 2 things when someone says Ben Wallace. Big arse afro, Detroit Pistons.
Big ass guns. Man's got fucking arms for days. Chris Bosh, legendary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say it, probably one of the most underrated power forwards of all
definitely.
time.
He's top 10 power forward.
Yeah, I truly believe
top 5,
so.
I think, would be a squeeze. Maybe he's 6th. But he is great. And
like, it's tragic how his career ended. Because he still had... He was the same draft class as James, LeBron, Wade and Melo. He could potentially have still been playing
there, yeah, that's it. But I mean, his time in Toronto was fantastic. He was very dominant up in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously went to be a part of the Heatles, got his 2 rings.
Yeah, and he played a vital part in the second ring, that Game 6, that offensive rebound.
Yeah. No Timmy D in the game. He took full advantage of that, didn't he?
Oh, mate, snatched that rebound, dished it straight out to Ray.
And he hit a fair few game winners on it off his own back as well.
Man, and what I loved about this Heat team was all 3 guys, they knew exactly what roles they were in. Mm-hmm. Yes, LeBron was a star, but it was D-Wade's team. It was D-Wade's city.
Mm-hmm. Wade County.
Bosh fitted in perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, he was used to being number 1 guy on a team, and he stepped down from that role, and he made it look easy, like to be compliant and to be. He looked like the perfect teammate.
He's exactly, again, like as we just said about Ben Wallace, it's just be the best at your role.
Yeah,
and,
man.
You know, he had to take 2 steps back. You know, as you said, he was the number 1 option on a Toronto team, and he then become the number 3 option at Miami.
I mean, but when you see either D-Wade or James going out injured, he did not hesitate to step back up. And, you know, I'm hyped. I'm hyped that the Heat retired his jersey.
Yeah.
Very well deserving.
Straight up.
It was like,
do you think
it like the year after he retired? Or
I think it was only a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was only a couple of years ago. Do you think he'll get his jersey retired in Toronto, or do you think it wasn't enough done?
Toronto's a whole mess of jersey retirements. Yeah. We'll get into that at some point, but
he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Easily, yeah.
Chris Webber.
I love Chris Webber, man.
Yeah,
I love Chris Webber.
He's just a story full of what ifs in it.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Absolutely.
But he was a great player and a hell of a passer for a big man. A hell of a passer.
He moved, man.
Yeah, I was watching some of his highlights the other day, and I was just thinking, God damn, you forget it so
surprising handles as well.
You forget it so quickly, didn't you? Yeah, big teams. Big part of the Kings team that couldn't get through the Lakers.
I think he had like one of the biggest yams ever on Charles Barkley. I think he called it off an outlet pass. As Chuck's come across his body, he's gone behind the back. And I'm pretty sure Chuck did like some commentary on this, and he went, "Uh-oh," and just gets yammed like a yammoth, like it was yammoth dunk.
It's extinct.
But no, Chris Webber, part of the Fab Five.
Yeah. Have you seen that documentary?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, mate, it's good. Chris Webber's not in it, though. He's not. He doesn't like take part in any of the interviews or anything.
Oh no, he wouldn't. No,
he wouldn't. Jalen Rose.
Although he did mention something about it recently. I did read. So maybe he's letting it slide. Maybe he's starting to let it slide. I mean, it's a long old grudge to have held. He doesn't talk to Jalen Rose at all.
No,
at all. Which is mad.
I wouldn't talk to Jalen Rose. Anyone that's had 80 dropped on him.
81.
81 dropped on him.
Yeah, but he was part of 3 people that had 81 dropped on him. Yeah, so that's Chris Webber.
Effort.
And then last but not least, from a player standpoint, from an NBA player standpoint, we have Paul Pierce. The truth.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
I don't like him.
No, as a person, he seems like a grade A dickweed, like a complete twat. But player, you can't deny.
He's great.
He was really good.
He was great. He was
top 5 small forwards.
No,
top 10
small forward position. Top 10, yeah.
Top 10.
Yeah, I'd give him top 10. He was great. He obviously, when the Big Three Celtics was formed, he was the LeBron stopper, supposedly. They had some wild back and forth games in the from around 2008 to
it was all the way through
till LeBron was in Miami.
Yeah,
and, maybe 2011, 2012, the playoff battles there, regular season battles that they had were great.
As soon as he moved on from Boston, I completely lost interest in his career. Like this,
he went standard, star player, downhill, bounced from Boston to Brooklyn, from Brooklyn to the Clippers.
Wizards first.
Wizards was it?
I'm pretty sure it was Wizards first, and then the Clippers.
And then that was it.
He retired at the Clippers.
But he probably could have had a better career if he took care of himself a bit more.
Yeah,
he always looked a bit heavy and.
Yeah, he was always a bigger guy.
As we know now from his Instagram, he likes a bit of a party, doesn't he? So, but what a career.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as soon as I see the wheelchair game, growing up, watching that wheelchair game, I lost all respect for Paul Pierce. And a lot of people have like a complete opposite opinion of that. It's like, oh, well, he was injured and he's come back and he's scored countless buckets to win to win Boston the game. He did, yes. But if you cannot see that man was acting, he was acting like he was in pain.
Yeah.
To cause all this drama. And like at that point, it kind of like tarnished the NBA for me as well, because I started questioning, is the NBA rigged?
Yeah.
Because this is bullshit.
Yeah.
That geezer has gone off.
His legacy would have been phenomenal if he just left it at the fact that he'd hurt himself.
Yeah.
But then he'd come out and say that he needed the shit. It's just fucking...
Yeah, he comes out a few months ago, I just needed a shit.
It's almost like, you had a Michael Jordan flu game there and you just went and you've just gone... It's like Michael Jordan coming out and saying, I just had a bit of hay fever.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I had a blocked nose.
Yeah, I had a blocked nose. I thought I'd play on it a little bit, I had the sniffles.
Oh, yeah. I need a wheelchair. Why? I'm duking. Like...
Turtle heading, bro. Come on, man. Cut the hole out from the bottom of the wheelchair just in case.
But I mean, that's all personal shit, isn't it? And like, as a player standpoint,
as a player, he's great. Finals MVP.
Player. Yeah.
They knocked off the Lakers which is no easy feat in itself.
No. Overall, the Boston Big Three, they were all good fits for each other.
They were great
fits. They all
fits.
had like very much dog mentalities, which everyone that listens knows that we love all of that. We love teammates that are all on the same wavelength and having that same mentality.
Yeah, it's a team game.
Yeah,
and it's an amazing game to watch when the team is when you've got a team that moves the ball as a team. It's
that's
a phenomenal
why, I mean,
game to watch.
when Golden State first started becoming a team to worry about, it was their ball movement was insane.
Yeah,
they didn't have big players, so they were just moving the ball. Yeah, and like that's what you're taught when you start playing the game.
Fundamentals.
Yeah,
the ball moves quicker than the player.
Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the first things our coaches have ever said to us.
Yeah. So that's the Hall of Fame. Great class. How do you feel putting that as a team? Tony Kukoc, Ben Wallace, Chris Bosh, Chris Webber, and Paul Pierce. That's a sick team.
That's
man.
not a bad team,
you know.
That's, from a defensive standpoint as well, that's pretty.
From a defensive standpoint, that's a unit.
Yeah,
but that's a sick team. So that's the Hall of Fame this year. Obviously, honourable mentions in other categories. Coaching, Bill Russell as a coach.
Yeah.
Couple of WNBA players that it's not really for me to talk on.
I don't know.
Don't follow it
enough about WNBA.
Not that we're sexist or anything. It's just not as good. Right, what's next up on the slate then, brother?
I don't know. We're getting cancelled next week.
Yeah, you know, sexist motherfuckers. No, we support. We got little girls. We support all women. We're going to be at WNBA game soon.
You know what I'm saying? We're building a
WNBA team.
Yeah, we're building a dynasty over here.
Future WNBA MVPs.
Our daughters are going to hate us. But right, shall we take a harsh left turn into Dunked or Denied?
Yeah.
Hit that music. Adam, you've asked for a raise, Adam, and we're still waiting for a jingle, mate.
Right, so I have got for you this week, my friend, on the Dunked or Denied slate. Would you trade Ben Simmons, not from the Sixers standpoint, from the other 2019 standpoint, for a top 10 to 20 player?
Well, as in, say, for example, I'm GM of the Nuggets.
Yep.
And Ben Simmons says, I want to play for you.
Yep.
I've got to trade
one of your top, if you feel a top 20 player. Okay, so you wouldn't trade Jokic.
No.
He's a top 20 player. Jokic is a top 20 player. Jamal Murray's maybe not a top 20 player, but he's going to be the one you're going to send.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You wouldn't do it.
For me, like, we have been very harsh on Ben Simmons for the past couple of weeks, couple of months since the playoffs started.
Since the podcast started.
Yeah, pretty much. But
since Ben Simmons entered the league, I've been harsh on him.
He's not that good. It just boils down to Ben Simmons.
And did you see the clip of Chuck and Shaq talking about him this week?
He's not as good as what he thinks. Clearly,
no. It's the media, and this is it. He is a great player on the ball, dishing the ball, floor general. His career should be based with similarities to fucking like Gary Payton. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I'd say Chris Paul, but without the shooting.
Yeah,
because Chris Paul can shoot, and Chris Paul can put up some numbers.
Yeah.
But what he's great at is he's a great floor general, and he can control the game from that perspective without having to take a shot. Ben Simmons could do that.
He could. But I mean, it's just so difficult because he's a great player. Obviously, he's in the NBA. He's a starting point guard.
But on the offensive end, you're playing 4-on-5.
Exactly, because you've got your floor general isn't confident in himself.
No.
Why would I send someone like, I don't know, like a Jamal Murray or even like a Monte Morris, like a bench player, you know what I mean? That he comes in, he knows what his shots are, he knows how to run the floor. You know, like I'm sorry, but Ben Simmons will be lucky to find a trade. Well, the Sixers will be lucky to find a trade for the sort of caliber that they think Ben Simmons is worth.
Now he said he's not going to play for him.
Yeah, man. Like
his stock value has just plummeted.
Yeah, it tarnishes your own name. You've just shit in your hands and clapped.
Last year they should have, when Houston offered James Harden for Ben Simmons out and out, they should have done it.
Could you imagine?
They should have done it.
Imagine
James Harden, Joel Embiid.
Might work.
I mean, Ben Simmons would have been better than what they got back from Brooklyn, but
I'm pretty sure Ben Simmons will be traded, but he will be traded for picks and bench players. I don't think they're going to get a like for like, because
providing he goes to a small market, which is more than likely.
Yeah.
Do you feel his career fizzles out?
I think he could find success if he develops his game. Like, this is the thing. He should.
I just want to put it out there before you go on. I'm going to say this now. I don't give a shit what anybody says. He is never, ever, ever going to develop a jump shot.
No,
ever.
And I think
all these fucking videos that come out in the summer of him shooting, if he's got that, he would have shown it by now. He does not have that in games. He's too in his own head. If anything, he doesn't need a trainer. He needs a fucking therapist.
And you know what? I'm laughing, but it's actually the truth. He needs a shrink, because if it was in his arsenal, he would have brought it out by now, because he's 5-6 years deep.
I think this would be his 6th year.
Man, we would have seen it by now. We would have seen the jump shot and the confidence behind the jump shot. Any NBA player in that league, unguarded, just doing shooting drills, will make 9 out of 10 shots, because they're in the fucking NBA and they shoot every day for 8 hours. Yeah. You know what I mean? Every job you do for that long, you're going to get good at it. Doesn't mean that it translates well into a game
where there's a pressure.
And yeah, exactly. And the fact that you're walking up the court, you're standing by the 3-point line and the defender's inside the key. You know, that's got to hurt. For me, I'd just bust it anyway.
Yeah, I'd be pulling up every time, 9 times out of 10.
Hand down, man down.
I'm a terrible shooter. I'm fucking firing that shit.
You know what I mean?
I'm turning into a cannon.
You don't have confidence in me, I'm going to have it in myself. You know what I mean? But, and I just don't see Ben doing it. I reckon if he goes to, like, a smaller market team, like, say, for example, the Pacers, he might have some success there. I can't see him being like a Hall of Fame player or, a franchise player or whatever. I don't think he's got that anymore. I think his chance to do that was with this chance with Embiid. And Embiid overshadowed him the whole way. The guy's an all-star as well. This is what I don't get. He was voted an all-star. And this is what I don't like about the NBA. It's like a pure popularity competition. You know, what did he do to deserve an All-Star appearance? I guarantee he ain't making it this year.
It's the media, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just this is what the media and social media does for you, is that the people that have latched onto Ben Simmons, even as he was coming into the league, like the LeBrons and that. Oh, LeBron vouches for him. Like, he's got to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and he is good, but he's not that good.
I think everyone saw the fact that he was playing point guard. He was LeBron's stature in like height and kind of a similar build, where he already had a bit of a body on him. Everyone saw that and thought, damn, this is going to be the next guy up.
Yeah.
And instead of working on his craft and becoming the next guy up, which I think he had full potential of. He had full potential when he come into the league.
Yeah.
To be an insanely good player, but he just didn't develop it. No. And I think now it's past the point of no return. You're going to be playing for these lower end teams and not being a star player for these teams, like at the best. Like, he's not going to be the franchise player ever. And for that, I would definitely not trade a top 10, or definitely not top 10. 95% sure I wouldn't trade a top 20 for Ben Simmons either. No. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Point guards in this league are in abundance.
Yeah.
And you always run a chance with like undrafted guys being like really good players.
Jeremy Lin's.
Like, you know what I mean? Anything's possible in this league. So,
apart from Ben
apart
Simmons,
from Ben Simmons knocking down a fucking 3-pointer or a free throw.
So-
or a layup! A layup! A layup
Come
cost you
on,
the
man.
NBA. Cost you a chance at the finals. Or the Eastern finals.
Conference finals, yeah.
A layup. A motherfucking layup.
Against the tainted Milwaukee team.
God damn Ben Simmons.
So, we're going straight up denied on that. The guy's
Yeah,
a clown. You know, just send him to Sacramento and let him die. You know.
Ben, fly out here and I'll fight you on a bridge.
The thing is, like, I rate him, man. Like, some of his passes are insane. You know, his court vision's phenomenal. It just know your role. Know your role. Know your role. And to be honest with you, if you don't want to play starting point guard and a floor general kind of player, because to me as well, it seems like he doesn't have that dominating voice that Chris Paul.
No,
you know,
he seems quite
a
quiet
floor
player,
general.
yeah.
He seems kind of withdrawn. Maybe it's obviously it's Joel Embiid's team, so maybe that's the case. But if he had a voice, if he was more dominant, more vocal, kind of like how we see Giannis come out as the team leader this year or in the playoffs. If he developed that then and stuck to his game of facilitating, he could be a very, very good impacting player. Other than that, to me, he's a bench player.
Because like another player I thought would struggle with finding a voice that has like come into the league and done like an extremely good job of being the number one guy, LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo Ball's that guy.
I thought he was going to come into the league and struggle his first year because not necessarily his skill, because he's so insanely talented. His vision is insane. His passing is perfect. But like, he didn't seem like a loud point guy. He didn't seem like...
When he was a kid, I thought when the videos coming out, he was 14, 15, he seemed mouthy, arrogant, like, look at me and my family, like, we're the shit. Yeah. And then he sort of seemed to have calmed down, like, when he turned pro.
When he went to, like, Spire, he, like, started calming down a little bit.
And then
he went to Australia.
Like, again, like, in the league, he seems very calm, but he's got control of everything that he's doing and his team. And that's great.
Mismatches.
I'm very excited for the Hornets going forward. I'm excited to see it.
I think they're a piece away from being like a playoff team, and not like
I think they could make the playoffs. I mean, Melo missed a lot of games last year, and they just slid out in the play-ins.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the Hornets. I think the Hornets are going to be a team that you don't brush over anymore. You know, you have them teams. You like Kings.
Yeah, you sort
Pelicans.
of. If you're looking for a rest,
Wolves,
you'll see a team, and you're like,
oh,
I'll sit out that game,
yeah,
or whatever.
you know what I mean?
You know, for the top tier
Hornets,
players.
I don't think you're going to be able to do that anymore because they're going to be a run and gun team as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them.
And they brought a bit of excitement back to basketball. Some of these alley-oops, some of these bounce passes, an underarm heave.
Three-quarter court.
3/4 of the court. Mad.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons hit up LaMelo Ball. That guy had a jacked jump shot.
Yeah. And he's still banging.
Still averaging more than you, bro.
Right, moving on. So as we mentioned earlier, Raptors have no retired jerseys. There's no players in the rafters, and also the Clippers. So do you feel that there's anybody that's played that deserves it for them teams?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Kyle Lowry's already...
He's deserving.
Yeah, he's
once he calls it a day, they need to send him up into the rafters.
That's either planned or it definitely should be. It's like assist leader.
Leader. I'm pretty sure he's points leader as well for the Raptors.
No, he's not.
He's not?
DeMar DeRozan.
Is he?
Which is another name I'm swaying towards.
The only reason I wouldn't put DeMar DeRozan in the rafters in Toronto is because of the way they got rid of him. I thought that was snaky, and I think if I'm DeRozan, as much love he's got for that city, I wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah, I mean... The way it was dealt with, not the best. A straight swap. I think if anything, it will be DeRozan saying, "Don't bother."
Yeah.
If I'm honest, but he's besides Kyle Lowry, he is the only other player I would say is truly fitting.
You wouldn't let Vince Carter's number go out there?
Well, that's the thing, because Vince Carter is Toronto, like Air Canada.
Yeah.
But he didn't really do a hell of a lot in Canada. Well, he put them on the map.
That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, but we'll chuck Vince Carter in there because
I think you got to. I think Vince Carter should be first, and then Carl, and then they need to have a debate whether Demar's going up.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think it'd be
personally,
silly
I'm
not
going.
to put all three.
I'd go denied with Demar, like, for the reasons I stated, because you don't think that highly of somebody to retire their number, and you got rid of them the way that you did.
Yeah, not giving them a chance because it was their season, potentially, when LeBron went back west.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was missing the playoffs, so you knew
that was the thing. They couldn't get through
LeBron
They couldn't get through LeBron every single year.
They got absolutely taxed by LeBron. But I mean,
that was their year. That was their year, regardless.
Yeah, and they were a strong team before.
DeMar DeRozan was a great player.
Yeah.
This trade really killed him. He's still good. He's still good. Don't get me wrong.
I think
but
if he went to a different team with a different setup, then
because the Spurs were fading.
But the Spurs and they were still in that all as one mentality of no one's above each other, and as long as Greg's coaching, they're going to have that full.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it's a 5-man squad, not 50% you, and then we all diddy up the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean that particular system doesn't work with players like DeRozan. DeRozan's
he's a create his own shot guy.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, yeah, definitely those three. If I'm the Raptors GM, I'm saying I'm chucking all three of them. But maybe discuss it with DeMar first, because he might be a bit salty about that.
But then things might change. I mean, it'd be cool if he went back, like, kind of, obviously we're a way off yet, but it'd be cool if he went back to finish his career, same way we spoke about Vince going back.
Yeah.
Before COVID shut him down. But I agree with two. Kyle Lowry definitely, and Vince Carter definitely. Clippers, do they have anyone you could throw up there?
Man, the only name that really springs to mind is Chris Paul. For me, I don't know where he stands on the all-time assists and points for Clippers, but yeah, man, Lob City was just an insanely fun team to watch.
Yeah,
and that era would for me that was Chris Paul in his prime.
Yeah, definitely. But even pre Lob City, I mean, when you had the Quentin Richardson teams with Lamar Odom and Coutinho Mobley,
yeah,
Corey Maggette, Elton Brand, them kind of guys, they were great teams as well. They just never amounted to nothing.
And I think that's another. It's just Clippers, isn't it? No one ever thinks about the Clippers. Like when you think LA, you think Lakers.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? They've not. They
don't even have their own stadium.
Nah, I don't feel like with the Clippers they've not achieved anything. This is the first time they made the Western Conference Finals and they got slapped about.
Yeah.
So that being said, the team hasn't done anything. Therefore, the players haven't done anything for them.
Exactly that. So I mean, again, I would say Chris Paul is the only name that I would put out there, but even that can be discussed.
You wouldn't go. Blake? No, you wouldn't go Blake.
I mean, he played a vital part in
they drafted him as well, didn't they? But
they drafted him. I think he was number 1 pick, wasn't he? I think it was the 2008 draft. The same draft with Curry.
No, he was 2010, I think. Curry was 2008 or 2009. I'm pretty sure Blake was 2010.
But either way, I don't think Blake
2009.
2009. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I think Blake would have stayed with the Clippers for pretty much his entire career, because he signed a 5-year deal with them weeks before they traded him to Detroit. Imagine you go through all the stress of free agency, meeting with all these different teams, and you sit and think, no, you know what? I'm going to stay with these guys. They drafted me. I'm going to sign up big with them as well. And then instantly being moved. It's like to somewhere shit weather.
Shit everything.
Shit everything, man.
Oh, the
no one wants to live in
LA.
Michigan.
Even the residents don't want to be there.
You know what I mean? They're like, where are you from? Oh, Detroit.
Shit. The only time it was cool to be in Detroit was in fucking the 90s.
You know what I mean?
When you had the Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Like even Bad Boys 2.0 wasn't really that cool.
Nah. But no, Clippers, kind of a dead franchise, man.
Yeah. Do you feel it will change if they get there? They're supposed to be getting that arena in Inglewood, is it? The old, I think it's the old.
I think it might be Inglewood because the
the old Lakers, the old Lakers stadium. I don't know if they're knocking it down and rebuilding it, but yeah. Do you feel like they change? It changes the franchise. I mean, every I think it's a fact that if a team gets a new stadium, their win percentage does go up.
Yeah,
obviously ticket sales will go up because. But then they do they change their name from Los Angeles to segregate themselves from the Lakers? Inglewood, always that's no good.
I mean, it would just need a complete franchise rebuild.
Yeah,
I think not necessarily players because they got a decent squad on them. But I mean, I've never looked at a Clippers jersey and thought, "Damn, that's a sweet jersey." I'm going to drop 50 quid on this, yeah. I'm going to drop 80 quid on this, fuck it.
Yeah, come on, man. 50 quid, you're living about 10 years ago, mate. Jesus.
But like, I look at them and I go, no, it just says Clippers.
Yeah, it says Clippers, I'll pass.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It says Los Angeles, but it's not purple and gold, so I'll pass. All right, so we're going denied with the Clippers, but we got some for the Raptors. Yeah. Raptors deserve. Like,
yeah, I fucks with.
Yeah.
One name we didn't bring up for the Raptors, though, Chris Bosh.
Yeah, didn't do enough.
I don't think he did enough, but I think he deserves to be in the conversation.
Do you think?
Yeah. Why not?
Meh. I disagree. Right, now this is one I'm excited for because I hope it happens, but are we seeing the return of the bigs? The Lakers have 4 bigs in rotation this year. So we've got
Marc Gasol,
AD starting.
Yeah.
Marc Gasol back up, Dwight Howard back up, and DeAndre Jordan back up.
I mean, not one of them are shit big men.
Not one of them are shit big men, no. Obviously, DeAndre Jordan's later in his career, and same with Marc Gasol and Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was on the championship team, and he put up good numbers. He was a good defensive unit. He wasn't obviously Dwight Howard from the Magic, but he played his role. He played his role really well. But from a defensive standpoint, just as the league as it is, I mean, no matter who's on the floor for the Lakers defensively, it's going to be a tough. Yeah, it's going to be a tough route to get to the rim.
That's the thing. I mean,
and if they've got 2 of them on the floor, I mean, AD and Dwight on the floor is good. Marc Gasol and AD on the floor is good. Marc Gasol and Dwight on the floor is good. The only 2 that probably won't get on is Dwight and DeAndre being on the floor at the same time. But I can't see that ever happening.
It just wouldn't work, those 2 being, because they're too much of the same
of nothing,
similar style.
Yeah.
But I truly hope that it is the return of the big man because the league's so little at the minute.
Yeah,
and everyone
it was a better
little.
Game.
Everyone plays little. Everyone takes jumpers and...
wants to sit on the 3-point line.
And they walk to the rim and there's not a hell of a lot of defence. No. You chuck decent bigs in the middle.
Make them work.
You're leaving on a stretcher if you come in the lane. You know what I mean? And that's taking it back to the era we started watching, when we started getting into basketball. It was, you come in here, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot and there's nothing you can do about it. No. If you want a layup, this is what I've said many a times is like Allen Iverson was like the Jesus Christ of NBA.
Yeah. Because every night he got crucified. He got slapped battered. About. Yeah, exactly.
He got battered. Did he complain? Hell no. He got up. He got up every time. Yeah. Injured or not, he got up.
Broken fingers, played. I remember hearing a story about him in Madison Square Garden, and the coach at the time, I don't know who it was, whether it was Larry Brown or not, took the jersey out of the building. They was like, "You're not playing tonight." Like, I think he broke his thumb. "You're not playing tonight," and he was like, "Listen, motherfuckers, if you don't give me my jersey, I will walk down to the NBA store, buy my jersey, and walk onto the floor." And they had to give it back to him.
You know what I mean?
This
is why I hope the big man is back, because it brings out a whole different animal of players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You find out who's an actual player.
We stop the bitching.
Yeah.
You know,
because if you're getting clocked 3-4 times a game and the refs ain't calling it because it is fair, for example, Ben Wallace, he'd stand up straight all day, every day. He's not committing a foul. He's just big as fuck. And he's like running into a Coke machine.
Solid.
Like, yeah. You know what I mean? He's like being tackled by a vending machine. You're not gonna survive that. But like, this is why, like, especially for like the young guards, like, see your Lucas, your Trays, your Mellos. This will teach them how to dominate, because if they can deal with that, they can deal with anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyone but Ben Simmons can bust up 10 threes a night. You know what I mean? You're all professionals. But
figuring out how to get around 50, a big man, 50 the hard way.
To drop 50 with like less than 5 threes, man, that's a player.
An achievement.
That's a player.
That's Giannis in the closeout game.
Yeah, exactly.
50 the hard way.
Yeah, and so I'm going dunked. That I in the sense that I want it to be, because it would just rebuild the NBA how the NBA should be, in my opinion.
And this is another thing. Obviously, you know, the Lakers having the 4-man centre, even though AD usually plays power forward, but with that, the way Giannis performed in the finals was very obviously Shaq-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to carry that forward for the rest of his career now, because that is the way he's going to dominate. Obviously, he's a hell of a lot more athletic than Shaq was, but
a lot less big.
He's not as dominant as Shaq. We know that, but he's a lot more athletic than Shaq was. Therefore, you know, if he carries that forward, we could see the return of the big, especially if he has success with it. If he goes back to back, if he wins another MVP playing that style, you know, we could see, because it's a copycat league.
Yeah.
You know, when Steph dominated the game, everybody went for shooters.
Exactly.
Everybody looked for the next Steph. You know, everybody that was getting drafted was, you know, when was the last time a centre was drafted number 1? Yeah. Anthony Bennett? Look what happened to him. Was that the last centre that got drafted number 1?
I'm not sure. Wasn't Joel Embiid number 1?
Yeah, he might have been.
But I mean, and let's just pull it towards those guys as well, because if the big man is back, the big man is a hell of a lot more developed than what it was in the 90s. You know, big men back in the day didn't pull up mid-ranges. They didn't. Well, they did, only like 15-footers, for example.
Yeah, and
they weren't busting threes.
No.
But big men can shoot now. You know what I mean? And this would be purely dominating the league again.
Oh, DeAndre Ayton in 2018 was the last number 1 pick. But he's not a franchise player. Karl Anthony Towns. He's classed as a centre, or is he classed as power forward?
He's a centre.
He's a centre. All right, but either way, none of them have changed. None of them have been impactful players, have
they haven't changed the way centres play or anything
Anthony
like
Bennett,
that.
2013.
Jesus Christ.
Anthony Davis, 2012.
I'd say
Greg Oden.
Oh, man.
Yes. Greg Oden, they picked him over KD.
The ugliest man to have ever been drafted.
Over KD. That's mad.
No, it is.
That is mad.
Imagine being Portland. Imagine being
They passed up on Jordan.
Passed up on Jordan for, what was it, Clyde? Or was Clyde later?
No.
Was he a different draft?
No, I think he used that draft class. I think they picked Clyde, didn't they?
Wang!
And then they picked Greg Oden over. And the good picks they have picked have all been injured. Like Brandon Roy.
Yeah. Oh, man. Brandon Roy, what a player, mate.
Yeah.
I love.
Anyway, so we're going dunked on the fact that we want Biggs to be big again, but denied that it will probably happen.
Yeah.
All right.
The likelihood.
Well, that's dunked and denied for this week. We've gone off on mad tangents.
Yeah, it's only going to be a quick one this week.
Yeah, it's only going to be a quick one this week. Just a
An
lottery.
hour deep.
Yeah, just a lottery, and we'll call it a day. But no, it's been a good episode. Like I say, we're going to get the no-goats draft done off air. We're going to get some highlights from up on the socials. Get the competition out there. Yeah, so follow along, man. Jump on the socials with us. Support us. Send us some feedback. We love it. It's off season, so we are, we're a bit dead in the water with content. We can only give you what we get, which isn't a great deal. We're coming up with stuff like the no-goats draft, just to fill blanks, really. Make it a little bit fun. Mate. What you got?
We're doing the first ever Snazzy or Tragic today.
Snazzy or Tragic?
Yeah, man.
What's this?
And this is a segment where I'm going to critique NBA players' style.
All right, now before we go on, I just want to say, for those of you that don't know Snaz, this man wears 3/4 lengths with his socks rolled up, but he wants to critique what NBA players wear. So, I mean,
for the,
Snazzy or Tragic?
Snazzy
Let's
or
do
tragic.
it. Come on, who you got for me?
Well, I'm not sure where he was going. I think he just pulled up into LA. LA's newest point guard.
My guy. I know what you're talking about.
Russell Westbrook with the old
Brody.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
The Brody with a Doubtfire, yeah? Brody Doubtfire in that.
Man, I mean, it takes a nutcase to try and pull this off because...
So come on, give the listeners a visual...
I'm trying to find
a visual
the image.
explanation
Let me get this image
of what my guy's rocking.
It was on the gram, wasn't it? Here we go.
Because I mean, my guy always looks fresh.
Oh, mate.
I see him training. He's got the blue hair. I don't know. It might be purple. It might meant to be purple and it went wrong. But
man
the blue looks
spent
cool.
a weekend in Vegas with Rodman. Let me tell you, he's got the. Was that a cardigan? A high waisted
cardigan.
A high cardigan. Yeah. It's got some bougie ass grey stripes on it. I guarantee you, it costs more than my rent for the month.
Yeah.
Just this cardigan alone. And he's done it all the way up. He's not wearing a tee underneath either.
Nah, he likes a bit of chest.
Yeah.
Does
I bet
Brody.
he's a sweaty guy.
Nah, he ain't. I bet if he smells, it smells like you could pour it straight into a perfume bottle and spray it on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he sweats, you could just take the drips off his elbow and just spray it on you.
Sweats
just
pure
the
aggression.
pheromones.
Just pure aggression. That's all he's.
As soon as you spray it on you start shouting at people.
And we scroll down a little further, and he's borrowed his mum's church dress.
His church dress, yeah?
What the hell? Like,
It's Tommy Hilfiger, no?
Nah, it's MM. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's not a bit of me.
You can't come
Russ.
with a Snazzy or Tragic and not know what you're looking at, guy. You're supposed to be that guy. You've named a whole segment after yourself. You've self-proclaimed a segment on this show that I'm now going to have to edit out because it's trash. Coming in, he's got MM on his skirt. I don't know what it is, but it's not Snazzy.
I don't know what that is. All I know is it's booky as fuck, and he's got the Doc Martens as well. High Doc Martens.
Has he got Doc Martens on?
Man. He's
what
got
colour?
Black, of course.
Oh, blacks.
So I mean,
he's out there. He's always been out there.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're making this a segment, it's basically just going to be about him every week.
Yeah, pretty much. Him and James Harden.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chris Paul's had some dodgy ones.
Nah, I rate Chris Paul. I'll tell you who comes hot at Halloween, Dame Dollar.
Dame Dollar, yeah.
Halloween.
Stone Cold,
Yeah.
and then I can't remember what else he come as, but you know who else? Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson coming hard.
Tight.
Yeah,
coming
that
hard.
Jackie Moon.
Yeah, man. But I mean, I'm going Trashy on this. This is a bit.
I mean, you should. He's got a skirt on.
Yeah, not a bit of me, Russ.
6'6". He's wearing a white skirt.
Man,
That skirt alone is probably bigger than me.
Yeah, I pray to God you don't stand over any events or anything, man.
Well, ain't a kilt, my G.
Don't want the Marilyn Monroe.
His package just hanging out and that.
He has to wear a skirt that long because his wang is down to his ankles.
Oh,
bruv.
come on, bruv. We got under 18 listeners. Come on, man.
Shut up.
On that note,
you've been fucking this, that, and fuck this, and fuck Ben Simmons.
fuck the listeners.
No, don't, please.
No, we rate you.
Please tune back in.
Next week on Flagrant 3.
Right, that's going to do it for us at Flagrant 3 podcast with Harmon Coaching Services. Peace out, players.
Peace out, my guys.